Planet X is a headache for astronomers and a real goldmine for apocalypse enthusiasts. It is widely known that in our solar system there are not just 8 planets as previously thought, but the history of the 9th is shrouded in darkness. Some call it a comet, some a giant like Jupiter, while the well-known folks choose not to take it and scream about its destruction of Earth. Who is right, and can extraterrestrial life exist right under our noses? We'll discuss this and much more right after your comment about our favorite planet in the system. Now let's start with an explanation for those who wonder why there are currently only 8 planets instead of 9. The little one, Pluto, had its proud title taken away in 2006 and was renamed a dwarf planet. The reason lies in technological advancements. Back in the 1950s, Soviet scientists claimed that the hype surrounding the discovery of Pluto was exaggerated, and it was wrongly considered the 9th planet of the solar system. According to their version, Pluto is just one of the large celestial bodies near the Kuiper Belt, and their prediction turned out to be true. Currently, Sedna, MakeMake, Haumea, and other little ones are practically identical to Pluto. Eris is even heavier than it. So, from this perspective, astronomers' discussions can be understood. Debates continue to this day, but one fact cannot be disputed. In terms of sea infrastructure and climate, Pluto is practically on par with Russia, being 6 times smaller than even our moon. So, despite our wishes, analyses of mass, trajectory, and gravitational pull of celestial bodies do suggest that something definitely deserves the title of a planet in our system. Research into Planet X began when Pluto was considered the 9th planet. Therefore, the mysterious celestial body was named Planet X, which in Latin sounds like 10th. When Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet, it was again referred to as Planet X. Research did not cease, as space has always lured and will continue to lure humanity. Partly, this is due to the desire to escape earthly problems, but mostly people are attracted by the unexplored beauty and scale that boggles the imagination. Gas giants the size of 1,000 Earths, diamond asteroids, and black holes stimulate thoughts, and we would give anything to catch a glimpse of them, even if just for a moment. Initially, nothing foreshadowed trouble. As far back as 1846, astronomers noticed something affecting the orbits of Neptune and Uranus. Intense searches began, leading astronomers to Pluto. It seemed like the problem was solved until 1978, when Pluto's mass was finally calculated, and it turned out that it couldn't influence the orbits of the giant planets. Conspiracy theorists resurfaced, but science predictably demonstrated its power. In 1989, the legendary Voyager 2 passed by Neptune and refined its mass by 0.5%. Seemingly trivial, this solved the anomaly of Uranus. 2 giants influenced each other, and the question of a new planet seemed settled. However, in 2014, Chadwick Trujillo and Scott Shepard discovered that something was still amiss in our system. Without astronomical terms, some objects in the Kuiper Belt, which encircles our system, behave as if something far beyond exists, a planet. Pluto's distant siblings, as mentioned earlier, orbit the Sun incredibly far away. For example, Sedna maximally distances itself from the Sun at 960 astronomical units. For comparison, Earth moves 1 unit away and distant Pluto 49 units. They gather and fly far beyond the Kuiper Belt, which many consider the boundary of the solar system. From the perspective of modern astronomy, there's no answer to this anomaly except for a couple of astronomers, Batygin and Brown. They studied the objects and in 2016 arrived at an amusing conclusion. The orbits of these distant siblings are almost identical, with a probability of such a coincidence being 0.7 thousandths of a percent. The most logical explanation is the existence of an incredibly remote but massive planet hurting them, preventing them from leaving the system. The likelihood of the hypothetical Planet X with a mass 10 times that of Earth hosting a disco is 90%. Simply put, the planet most likely exists rather than not, and this is where things get interesting. For hundreds of years, folks with tinfoil hats have been seeing planet Nibiru, which they believe will destroy Earth. They rely on Sumerian scriptures, the Bible, made-up facts, and a lot of imagination. In short, according to this version, the asteroid belt was once the planet Tiamat, destroyed in a collision with Nibiru. According to this theory, Nibiru orbits in a very distant orbit from the Sun, once every 3,600 years, passing between Mars and Jupiter. Astronomers indeed believe that the belt was once a planet, and imagine how joyfully the fans, well, not taking them, welcome the news of the existence of a distant 9th planet. And to say that their theory is far-fetched is an understatement, as evidenced by the absence of the end of the world in 2012, because according to the ancient calendar on which this is based, this autumn should have passed through the asteroid belt again, destroying everything in its path with its gravity. Astronomers were so shaken by this that they also plunged into ancient Sumerian writings. It turned out that our ancestors considered Jupiter to be Nibiru, or perhaps Sirius, or maybe all at once. It's also worth remembering that back then the Earth was considered flat, and it's absolutely unclear how flat Earth and spherical planet theories can coexist in fans' heads simultaneously. They find it convenient to associate it with Planet X, and also claim that life on Earth was brought by the Anunnaki inhabitants of Nibiru. The problem is, life on Planet X is not just impossible, it's unthinkable. Even on Pluto, surface temperatures never rise above minus 200 degrees Celsius. Now imagine what it's like on a planet located 50 times further away. Absolute zero reigns there, and not the zero you see on the Celsius scale, but the one that equals minus 273 degrees. At this temperature, the chaotic movement of particles ceases, atoms freeze, and their tiniest components stop vibrating. Small exceptions like helium are possible, but clearly this is not conducive to life. The ninth planet poses no threat. It's 24 times larger than Earth and orbits the Sun about 5 to 10 times further out than Pluto. In simpler terms, it's very far away. So far that hypotheses suggest the Sun stole the planet from another star as it passed by. There's also the theory that the planet has already broken free from our system and is now drifting freely. And here's where the main question arises. Why can't we find something right under our noses? The answer is simple. We need to know where to look. With far distances, there are no problems. Astronomers just point their fingers anywhere and search. But to find Planet X, we need at least an approximate location on its orbit. When Neptune was being sought, astronomers used Uranus as a reference point. But to search for Nibiru, we need to base our search on tiny bodies far removed from the Sun, tens of times further out. This is practically unachievable under current conditions, especially considering how slowly the planet moves. Scientists promise to find it within 5 years, but it will be an enormous task. There's also the possibility that we've already found Planet X, but simply haven't noticed it yet. This was the case with Pluto. Percival Lowell searched for it for 10 years until his death. When the dwarf planet was finally discovered in 1930, it turned out that it had been captured in photographs before. NASA launched a whole project in February 2017, allowing enthusiasts to search for the ninth planet in the vast archives of the space agency. Given the hype surrounding this mysterious distant planet, there's no reason to doubt its existence. Soon there will be 9 planets in our solar system again, but we shouldn't worry about our neighbor destroying us. The latest doomsday dates from tinfoil hat enthusiasts were in August 2018, and now voices are calling for 2021. However, as we've discussed in one of our previous videos, the cause of the apocalypse is more likely to be found here on Earth. We should focus on ourselves and our loved ones first and foremost. Space is a wonderful place, the interest in which is the prerogative of the chosen few. Someday, its exploration will reveal all the secrets of the universe, and the discovery of the ninth planet will be another step forward, much more useful than the release of yet another new model of smartphones, which are only 0.5% thinner than the previous one. Until we meet again, friends.